This Valentine's Day, the UPS Store certified packing experts are helping pack and ship all the ways we care. From the lovey-dovey XOXO gifts, gifts for your Galentine's gal pal, even pet gifts for doggy dearest. When you ship UPS Air at the UPS Store, your items arrive on time or your money back, guaranteed at no extra cost, exclusively at the UPS Store U.S. retail locations. Send your Valentine's on time at the UPS Store. Visit theupsstore.com/air guarantee for full details. Terms and conditions apply.
New CBS Sunday.
The Grammys, baby!
History will be made.
Live, unfiltered, unexpected.
Woo!
Bigger than ever.
I was a ghost.
Bigger stars, bigger performances. Music's biggest night is getting bigger.
Now you see what all the hype is about.
Trevor Noah hosts the Grammy Awards live.
Anything is possible.
CBS Sunday and streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is Optimal Health Daily. Is dieting bad for your health? And is cheese good for you? Dairy cheese alternatives. Both by Dr. Monali Desai of ifwewerefamily.com. And I'm Dr. Neil. Welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, or welcome for the first time if you're new here. This is the podcast where I act as your very own personal narrator and read to you from some of the most popular health and fitness blogs online, and always with a bit of my commentary at the end. Now, for a lot more blogs being narrated for you, check out Optimal Living Daily. You can search and find that podcast wherever you're listening to this. And with that, let's get to Dr. Desai's 2 posts as we optimize your life. Is dieting bad for your health? By Monali Desai of ifwewerefamily.com. You may have seen in the news articles about yo-yo dieting linked to increased rates of heart attack and stroke, even in otherwise healthy people. This isn't the first time medical studies have linked yo-yo dieting to negative outcomes for your health. So, what is yo-yo dieting? This is when you start a diet and lose weight, but then put the weight back on, presumably because you stopped the diet or it was a short-term diet like a cleanse. This can happen when you do extreme diets like a 7-day cleanse or a 30-day challenge, if you're not able to maintain the changes you made long-term. Although your weight can go up and down for various reasons, it's generally assumed that for most people, it's from changes in your diet. Why is yo-yo dieting bad? The recent news articles about yo-yo dieting are based on a recent study that came out in the medical journal called Circulation. This study looked at about 6.7 million healthy people, so that's a large study. The researchers found that weight variability, which can be caused by yo-yo dieting, can increase your risk of heart attack and stroke, and can also negatively affect your blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol levels. Some of this information confirms prior data from smaller studies that yo-yo dieting can be bad for you long term. Based on other data, yo-yo dieting could also lead you to be heavier or to lose less weight long term. One theory is that if there's a lot of variability in your weight, it could lead to a long-term breakdown in your body weight regulatory system, so that it ends up making it harder for you to lose weight long term. What can you do about it? The best thing to do is to make healthy eating changes slowly. I know that's not as exciting as doing a cleanse or a challenge, and it's harder to post about these things on Instagram or Twitter, but it will be healthier for you long term. You could even start with eating one healthier meal 1 day a week, and then every week increase the number of healthy meals you're eating. This is so you can maintain these changes long term, but also so you can troubleshoot problems along the way. For example, what do you do when you have an unexpected meeting that throws off your eating schedule? Or what do you do when you have to eat a healthy breakfast when you're on vacation? You get the idea. If you're doing it gradually, you can figure out how to overcome different obstacles in your life that are keeping you from eating healthy. Is cheese good for you? By Monali Desai of ifwewerefamily.com. A few months ago, I tried cashew cheese for the first time, and it's definitely an acquired taste. That brings up the question, is it even worth acquiring the taste? How healthy is dairy cheese for you? Will switching to a non-dairy cheese help you lose weight? Well, that depends on how much dairy cheese you're eating per day. If you're eating 1 serving or less, switching is probably not going to make that much of a difference. If you're eating more than 1 serving of dairy cheese a day, then there's a reason to consider switching to non-dairy alternatives. Dairy cheese is a good source of calcium and protein, but it also has unhealthy fat in it. Too much unhealthy fat can cause you to gain weight. It can also make it harder for you to lose weight and increase your risk for developing cardiovascular disease in the long term. So those are the reasons to consider switching. Nut milk cheeses. The most common alternatives I see are nut milk cheeses. For example, almond cheese or cashew cheese. It's definitely an acquired taste, but it does have less unhealthy fat than dairy cheese. Usually, nut milk cheeses have an equal amount of protein when compared to dairy cheeses. The amount of protein in one slice or 1 ounce of nut milk cheese should be about 5 to 10 grams. That would make it roughly equal to the amount you'd find in dairy cheese. Nut milk cheeses do have less calcium than dairy milk cheeses, so you would need to find alternative sources of calcium in your diet. The easiest option for calcium are green leafy vegetables like kale or spinach. If you're eating a lot of salads, then you're probably getting enough calcium in your diet. Other common options I see are oat milk cheeses and coconut milk cheeses. Of the ones I've seen so far, they don't have as good of a nutritional profile as nut milk cheeses. From what I've seen, they have less protein and less calcium than dairy milk cheese, although they also have less unhealthy fat. So, what should you do? If you're switching to a non-dairy cheese, I recommend nut milk cheeses when compared to those made from oat milk or coconut milk, because they do have less unhealthy fat and an equal amount of protein. Foods with healthy protein can help you feel full when you eat, and will also help you maintain muscle when you're losing weight. And eating less unhealthy fat has many benefits, including helping you lose weight and lowering your risk for cardiovascular disease. You just listened to the posts titled, "Is Dieting Bad for Your Health?" and "Is Cheese Good for You?" both by Monali Desai of ifwewerefamily.com. And I'll be right back with my commentary. Right now, there's a talented person out there who could take your company to the next level. Do you want to hope they see your job post before your competitors? Or do you want to match with them with Indeed sponsored jobs? Sponsored jobs boost your post for quality candidates so you can reach the exact people you want faster. I love that Indeed speeds up hiring. When I've hired in the past, the process was overwhelming. I wish I'd used Indeed. Spend more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results now with Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Do it the right way with Indeed. Sometimes I just don't have the time or brain space for proper grocery shopping. With a long commute, shopping for groceries is the last thing I want to do. That all changed with Hungry Root. It's the easiest way to get healthy. Just tell them what you like, don't like, and your goals, and Hungry Root fills your cart with personalized recommendations. It's the perfect way to actually stick with your New Year's resolution of starting fresh with healthy eating. For my Hungry Root order, I was able to get the veggies and proteins I specifically wanted for my weekly meal prep, plus a couple sides and pre-made meals for convenience, all fresh and delivered quickly. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/OHD and use code OHD. That's hungryroot.com/OHD, code OHD, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. Dr. Neal here for my commentary. With all the news about butter is back and full-fat cheese is perfectly fine, it's hard to make sense of these rules. It's hard to know which data are correct and which are wrong. Right now, I would honestly say that also don't go crazy about consuming butter all the time. Let's just think about consuming both of those in moderation. And when it comes to cheese in moderation means about 2 ounces a day. If you imagine a piece of string cheese, the prepackaged string cheeses, 1 stick is about 1 ounce. When we're talking about cheddar cheese, think about 2 stacked dice. That would be about a serving of cheddar cheese. I know, it doesn't take much. Oh, and when it comes to yo-yo dieting, or basically having your weight constantly go up and down, my biggest concern is that, again, you're not really following a lifestyle. Instead, someone might be chasing the latest fad. But if we can find something that works, that you can stick to, that doesn't feel like a chore, then we're onto something. And it goes without saying that, of course, this should be nutritionally balanced as well. And I love the suggestion of just starting small. Even if you just swap out one snack to make it more nutritious, that's a step in the right direction. And watch what happens. The momentum will start to carry. Oh, that wasn't so bad. I'll try changing my lunch next time. And then, oh, you know what? That wasn't too painful. How about I do the same tomorrow? And before you know it, you're on your path. You're on track to meet your goal of eating more nutritious meals. All right, that'll do it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for listening. And I'll be back here tomorrow as usual. So I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.